Hey guys, welcome to Brent Device. In this video, I have a very interesting question that I would like to answer on video because it is going to be something which might help a lot of you out. So I will head over to the screen which I'm reading here, and of course I'm going to blend out all of the personal details. I'll be joining RWTH Aachen University this winter semester for a 2-year master's program. I don't have any particular questions regarding the application, enrollment, visa or any other process in general, but I wanted to have your advice on something. I'm a 23-year-old person who likes to save and would prefer to plan a secure financial future right from the beginning. So we have a monthly disbursement from blocked account of 836 euros. But I guess if we plan, we can easily save up to 200 euros a month from those monthly disbursements, as one of your videos on how to save money in Germany also suggested. So what would you suggest I do with that saved 200 euros? I don't want them to lie idle. Instead, I would prefer to keep them in some savings account as we do it in India, where they could earn interest or something similar. Shall I invest some amount like 50 euros in stocks while some in another thing? How do you plan your finances and what are the investment options available in Germany? I believe with correct vision and guidance, the save 200 euros per month could go a long way at the end of the masters. I will be grateful if you could provide your insights on these or could suggest anything related to this. That would be a big help. So thank you so much for asking this question. First of all, this is like not every day that I see interesting like financial planning questions, because most of the times people are just so focused about the visa and all of these processes, which are pretty much laid out in front of you from the embassies or from like the different kind of visa outsourcing agencies and so on. 200 euros a month. So the first thing I want to do is take you to the ETF Sparplanrechner. So here I'm putting inside 200 euros per month for 7.5% interest rate and for 2 years. So if the 200 euros you're saving and you're saving it every single month and you're putting it inside MSCI World Index or something where you're getting 7.5% of return every single year. Another important thing, it is not going to be every single year because this is averaged out over like 5 years or 10 years or something. But for the sake of simplicity, let's do it. So we have 7.5%. So towards the end, it turns out you will be gaining an interest of 349 euros almost. Now, let's increase the duration. Now you are saving 200 euros in your masters, then I would not expect you to save anything less than 200 euros in your job. Once the job starts, you're still saving 200 euros a month and you're 23 right now. And let's say the retirement is at 65. That means you have 42 years. And then I'm going to put it to 42. If you're still saving 200 euros a month, and you're saving it for 42 years, what you have paid inside is 100,800 euros, and the compound interest that you got on that is 556,028 euros 44 cents, which is insane. So like towards the end you will have 657,000 euros almost saved up for you if you're just like continuing the same habit that you build in your masters. That's why like building habits are so important. Once in a while, if you like also start putting inside some kind of money, and let's say like in the starting you put somewhere around like 15,000 euros, then like things change even further. So the compound interest, it becomes more. Now you're like very close to 969,000 euros if you have, let's say, 15,000 euros put inside in the first year. So of course, all of these things are very interesting, but in the real scenario, I would say like do not put the entire 200 euros directly into the ETFs. What I would suggest is you can take 100 euros and you can keep it in your bank account. I think that's fine because you never know what kind of extra expenses can come at you, and the 100 euros you can start investing. That is a nice way to balance it out. Of course, like, other people say that first you have to build up the emergency fund, which is your monthly expenses for the next 3 to 6 months. I don't believe in that because then again, you're dealing with the opportunity cost. Like right now, if you just keep the money to the side and you are not using that money or like not putting it into some kind of work, it's just lying there. That's why like you can build the emergency fund on the side and you can start saving from the very first day. That is very important. And this is what I believe in. Of course, like different people have their own thoughts. I personally think it's nice that you start investing and you start saving from the very first day. Now, what you have to remember is like, the way you get financially secure or like financially free is when you control both sides. So here are 3 scenarios for you. The first mindset could be that you just want to earn as much money as possible and you do not want to like spend less. Maybe if you're successful, it could be very nice, but it will still not have the maximum effect. The second scenario could be you don't want to focus on earning more money. You want to focus on spending as less as possible. So again, that is one way you can like build some kind of like, buffer in the middle. And the third, and which is the best way, is that you're thinking about constantly trying to earn more money and at the same time you're trying to spend as less as possible. This is the ideal scenario. This is what you should be aiming for, and this is where you get the best results. And even if you're starting as a student, like, you live like a broke person for the first few years, and I don't feel any shame about it whatsoever. And that's why I say on YouTube all the time, like, our entire apartment in which we were living previously, and even like right now in the house, so many things that we needed were bought secondhand, which were still in like really good quality. You save a lot of money that way. You're saving on unnecessary expenses, and you're still getting something which is in a good enough condition, which kind of looks like completely new, and you're still getting it, let's say, at half the price or 60% of the price or something. This is something which I personally benefited a lot from, and which was reducing your expenses. And I got really lucky because Alina believes in that too. If Alina was a different kind of woman who was like just spending like here and there, I think for me to like get to this level would have been like a lot more difficult. But as a student, when you don't have any kind of like, let's say dependency or something, then of course it is easy. You can like manage these things. So 100 euros, you can start investing. 100 euros you can put to the side. If you want to open a target scale konto is nice in the way that, like, don't open it because of the interest. Interest is like 0.09% or something. Like, inflation is 2%. Like, you are losing money, like just keeping the money in that account. So that doesn't matter. But target scale konto has the benefit that when you need to take out the money, you can go and take it out, and it is still disconnected from the main account that you have. That means whenever you have any kind of impulse spendings or whatsoever, you will not be able to take out the money directly from your Giro konto. You will have to go to the target scale konto, take the money out from there, which is a lot of pain, right? So like, this is the reason I say, like, you can have maybe these two methods. You can have your Giro konto, which is your normal current account. Then you have your target scale konto. We can call it the savings account because, well, that is essentially what you're doing. You're keeping the money there so that you get some kind of like basic interest. The third one is investing in the index funds, which is a broad diversification of 1,600 different kind of companies. And this index fund is called MSCI World. Now, so these are the ways you can do it. Some people also think that maybe you can start investing money, let's say back in India or something. 50 euros becomes a lot of money, 4,000 rupees. But what you have to remember is this currency exchange all the time, that loses for you a lot of money. Any kind of gain you would have as an interest, it will quickly die out as soon as you are transferring the money in the times where maybe the euro is not as strong as the Indian rupee. And when you're transferring it back, like, the story is different. So these kind of things can screw up. And this is also the reason why many people try to save the money in the same currency in which they're getting the money. So I'm not a huge fan of like sending money back to India. That's just my thought. Like, maybe you want to do something differently, you can do it. But personally, I feel like you'll be just fine, like, putting your money in Giro konto, in the target scale konto, and using a depot to start investing in the ETF. I think that's the best way to go about it, especially when you have lower sums. Now, if you want to open a depot, you can go with scalable capital. That is like one of the best ones that I see. A lot of people also like Smart Broker, but there you have a lot of like hidden costs, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. And these kind of things you have to be just a bit careful about. The important thing is, like, of course, I will have to keep on making these videos over and over again, because sometimes one broker becomes cheap, another time like another broker becomes cheap. So far, Trade Republic is doing good. I'm not unhappy with that. The spreads sometimes is a bit higher because it is just trading over Lang und Schwarz and not on any other like German, let's say, stock exchanges. So that's not so nice, but like, yeah, like, it is beginner friendly. It got me started in investing. If I would have these like really bland and ugly looking websites where I have to like buy a stock, like I'm signing some like bureaucratic papers or something, I think like that would really hold me back from investing with these different kind of brokerages and so on. And so in that kind of case, I would say you should start your depot with scalable capital. I really like how the platform is, and I also find the prices to be very reasonable, because let's say on Trade Republic you are spending €1 in every single trade, whereas if you're taking a look at scalable capital, it's 99 cents. It's not a huge difference. That shouldn't be the major decider, but you are still able to save one ETF completely for free, which will most probably be the MSCI World or some kind of S&P 500 index fund from Vanguard, iShares, whatsoever. It doesn't really matter. Just see what the total expense ratio is for that, and then you can decide in which you want to invest. So that's your free savings plan, which is MSCI World. And for any kind of stock purchases you do, on that you have to just like pay 99 cents. So I personally find it reasonable. Also, like with the post-ident and everything, you can go for it. Any kind of new brokers whatsoever which come up, I'll be making a video about them too. And for now, I think you can start with that. The link for Scalable Capital is given in the description. You can open your depot with Scalable Capital by using the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have more questions, let me know in the comment section below or write to me on Instagram and I'll respond to you with the video. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.